This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
We're having more technical problems. We live in the 21st century.
Savage Unfiltered.
Not only should we not be supporting them, but we gave $30 billion. Did you know we gave $30 billion this week, Jim?
Your host, Michael Gardner. Like a Hellcat.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to Savage Unfiltered Podcast. Happy Wednesday, guys. Happy Wednesday. First and foremost, I want to give a great hat tip to Derek over in Wham Radio out in Detroit, Michigan area, Ann Arbor, Michigan area as well. So thank you very much, Derek of Wham Radio, that joined myself and Sauce on the show. Got to spit a little sports regarding Michigan State, Wolverines, the Georgia Bulldogs. We got into a lot of great stuff. But I'm gonna tackle my Bulldogs, Derek. I know you're a big Ann Arbor guy, Wolverines, Michigan State. I get it. Both phenomenal fucking teams. Don't get me wrong. But guys, if you want to check out that podcast episode, that will be airing on our Rumble channel. If you could follow us on Rumble at Savage Unfiltered, and it'll pop right up, and it'll also be on our YouTube channel. That's right, guys. We're back on YouTube. You can also check out the video in its full entirety on our Twitter page. That's right. We're back on Twitter at Keep It Savaged. That's right, guys. We tried to get the fucking handle for Savage Unfiltered, but apparently it wouldn't let us take it. I know there's not another show called Savage Unfiltered, but apparently I guess it just, I don't know, it wasn't working. So we went along with at Keep It Savaged. So follow me there on Twitter, guys. I'm putting out some amazing content. But joining me here, guys, is the one and only Saucelin Teemison from his show, The Sauce Report. Sauce, you there?
Yeah.
Thank God you're there. Jesus Christ, man. I thought I was terrified. I thought you got mugged by a bear or something in the woods of Wisconsin last night.
No, well, I was in the Capitol, and it felt like it was. You should have been like, okay, so you should have been in. It was so intense in one of the committees. It was like you could draw like after like a bear was going to come out. It was like so. I was sweating because it was like so toxic in there. It was positive. So first of all, before we continue on, I want to. Today is December 7th. It is the day of Pearl Harbor. We want to remember the families and that were killed, and the friends are still, and the relatives that now have to face with the fact that they lost their brother, their father, their sons. That we remember the tragic day that unfolded. So we want to take at least 5 seconds of moment of silence to remember.
Yeah, guys, I want to thank Sauce for bringing that up. Hat tip to Saucelin there, Teemison, for bringing this, terrible, terrible event that happened on this day in our history, December 7th, 1941, when Pearl Harbor killed the Pearl Harbor attack, right, guys? It killed over 2,403 Americans that lost their lives.
Yep.
Which was, I mean, it was historic. I noticed that the Washington Post put out an article that Pearl Harbor was the site of Black heroism and protest against racism. Sas, I was not aware of that. I guess you learn something new every day. But anyway,
I wouldn't be surprised if they twist it somehow. I wouldn't be surprised if the twisted media twist something. Like for instance. They twisted the Twin Towers into a racial thing. Now, did you also know that we just got off of Black Friday? And now they say that Black Friday was racist.
Yeah, I know, because it has the word fucking black in it. Oh, we can't say Black Friday because it has the word black. Oh, so I guess I can't buy black sheets for my bed, or I can't buy a black curtain for my my living room. If I hang a black curtain in my living room and there's black neighbors that see it, they may think it's racist. I'm tired of this shit.
Well, you
I
do
really am.
2.0, so I mean, I could see that. I mean, you do live in California 2.0, so I mean, plus you also live in a state that welcomes everyone. So you do live in California. So I mean, hypothetically, Florida and Orlando, but
Well, only Orlando. The rest of the state is conservative, Sauce. Let's just say it like that.
hey,
Yeah.
you know what, Wisconsin? Hey, Wisconsin always welcomes you, though. We would love to have. I mean, we always welcome you. I mean, there's some furries that can welcome you.
Yeah. There's always some Looney Tunes that are bouncing around here and there. I spot like at least about 10 of them a day. You know.
Yeah. No, so it's interesting because I don't know if you heard not heard, but it was interesting because a lot of people actually don't know what's going on in Iran, and I think that's interesting how you like all the information that's being suppressed, like the laptop from hell. I mean, what is your thoughts, by the way? What is your thoughts on? Do you think that there's going to be some accountability now that the House are going to take control? Do you see accountability and do you see impeachments going down the pike?
The laptop from hell, right? There's a book on that, actually, guys.
I've read it, by the way. Did you take a chance to read it?
I have read it. I have read it.
Man, that is disgusting.
An author by the name of Miranda Devine, which is the author of Laptop from Hell. It covers Hunter Biden, big tech, and all the little dirty secrets the president tried to hide.
Imagine if Don Jr. did that.
Nazis bad.
Yeah. What is your thoughts on that?
If Don Jr. did that, they would be throwing the hammer at him, and he would be sitting in Guantanamo Bay there and Gitmo.
Yeah.
That's what would happen because he's the president he's the son of a former president, and they wouldn't give him little Levy that they're giving Hunter. Hunter's getting a slap on the fucking wrist, folks. Literally, a slap on the damn wrist. And this laptop, Sauce, exposed the president's dirtiest secrets.
Literally dirtiest secrets. Like porno, okay, are we unfiltered?
Yes, Sauce. Go ahead.
Okay. Why on earth would you?
But go ahead, Sauce.
What's that?
I said you have to remind me every now and then. But go ahead, man.
Okay. Why? Okay. Don't you how disgusting is it? Okay. The fact that you take yourself picture of screwing another woman and you take a picture of yourself masturbating and you have your chocolate bar all over the
Savaged, unfiltered.
all over the internet and you filming it. I mean, it's just disgusting. I mean, and then that's okay and that all gets suppressed. Wouldn't you think as an individual that's got some moral compass and that's got some got some decency and respect in yourself, saying, okay, you know what, guys, maybe this wasn't my best work after all. Maybe I'm not an artist after all. And maybe my film industry that I tried to make, that porno film, maybe it didn't go off as a hitch. So I'm going to try something new. I shouldn't make light of it, but I'm trying to make comedy out of it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what Hunter's trying to do. Hunter's trying to make comedy of his life, because he knows damn well that, when his father loses in about less than a year and a half.
When he loses the primary.
Yeah, he's going to lose the primary. When he loses the freaking primary, Hunter knows that he's going to be going into federal prison. He knows. Right. So he has to make comical relief off of it until that happens.
I mean, imagine, but how disgusting is that? The things that are piping up, like him smoking a crack. Imagine if and no one has, and this shows you the hypocrisy of no one is above the law. If you and I, for instance, took a picture of us smoking a candy cane and we posted it all over, we'd be having the FBI at our front doors arresting us.
Yeah, it would happen.
Literally, so it shows you the hypocrisy of stating that the FBI is now beefing up, and as the FBI is literally the government is under the Biden regime, and that they control whatever happens. They're the final police. They're the ones that are going after parents that are school board meetings.
Well, Sas, we had this discussion last night on Tommy Nation, guys, which I highly suggest you check out that episode.
All right, my friends, we're at full power. Full power. So, Sauce, you there? Sauce, you there?
And remember, God loves
What's
you.
that?
Remember,
Sauce, where
God
the hell
loves
you
you.
broadcasting from,
No, it's
man?
actually the sauce report. What?
Sauce report.
I'm actually on the road.
We got
Oh,
we
no.
have right wingers on the road, bro. Right wingers on the road.
Does that work?
Yes.
You need
Yes,
OPEC,
Sauce.
bro,
Say
so you
fuck
can pay for
OPEC.
your gas.
That was shit. That Okay, was not shit
well,
show. But
actually,
I was
on the
complete,
road,
like
'cause I have
I
a-
don't know what happened. I was trying to
Well,
get in.
it was a shit show, and I'm going to say why it was a shit show, Sauce. No offense, buddy, but you know the entire crew there on Tommy Nation, Jamar and Tommy, including myself. That I mean, I was on the broadcast via telephone coming from Savannah, Georgia, guys.
And you hit a
And
deer.
I did hit a deer. I freaking hit the damn deer, and the damn thing wasn't even bloody. I mean, it was down. I took a picture of it. I thought it was dead, but then after I took a picture of it, it got up, it shook its ass, and then it went prancing back into the woods. I hit this thing at fucking 60 miles an hour, Sauce, and the damn thing is still alive.
Did it damage your car?
I drive a truck. I have like a rub rail in the front of the truck, so it didn't do any damage. It's just little. Maybe a little scuffs on the rub rail from the antlers, but other than that, it was fine, man.
Oh, okay, man. Yeah. So, man, that's the best way to define it. It was a shit show because
Well,
I don't know
Sauce,
what
we were
happened.
confused. We were concerned for you, man. We were concerned that Sauce was like getting abducted by aliens because he was like. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, Sauce, we can hear you for the 5,000th fucking time, man.
Oh man.
You had Tommy Nation. You had Tommy Nation fired up, man. He was questioning. He was like, Sauce, give us some news or I'm gonna burn you right now. I'm gonna come on your Jesus show and I'm gonna burn you. I was like, God, Tommy, get a little dark. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so I was driving home from Madison. Okay, I was driving home, so it was like we don't have very good reception whatsoever, so it was very spotty, you know.
Yeah, it was
And,
fun.
No, so how were you? Were you coming in, or were you coming in and coming bad? But like, I mean, how did yours sound?
Mine sounded pretty good, and Tommy was kind of questioning because I had a couple of glitches on my end. But you know, you guys remember something? I was calling into Tommy Nation from my cell phone. So I'm driving down I-95. I'm passing through hillbilly sections of Jacksonville, Florida, and it seemed like I was passing these little sections. I'm losing coverage, so it kicked me out like 2 or 3 times. You know,
So it's like
we couldn't even hear a fucking word Sauce was saying. He says, I'm driving down the road. He says, and then Sauce gets mad, guys. Folks, he gets mad. He's like, I'm going down the fucking road. I'm like, whoa, Sauce is unfiltered, man.
Well, that's why I think I told you it was not my best performance after all.
Yeah, well, you know, you lose some, you win some. But you know, last night, guys, we were talking on Tommy Nation Politics, and Tommy questioned me on the show, saying that you know they now found the Trump organization guilty of criminal tax fraud. And after hearing this, guys, I think it is another fucking witch hunt, Sauce. It really is. It's another damn witch hunt, one after the other. Mueller, the Russia PP tapes, right, where Russian strippers are peeing on him somewhere in a hotel in Moscow.
Savaged, unfiltered.
Full of shit. The Stormy Daniels thing. Sauce, I can't keep up with these fucking witch hunts. I really can't, man.
Well, no, and it's like, well, what's next? I mean, well, now it's going to be interesting. Now you're going to really watch what's going to transpire.
Yeah.
Because after January 3rd, you have Witch Cheney and fascist. Oh, and speaking of that, okay, I want to can I tell your listeners what somebody told me when I was actually, so I don't know, but the reason why I've been kind of absent from the show, from Michael, from both of my show, the Sauce Report, and you've been kind of getting some recordings and stuff. I've been going through some medical issues. And so I was in the hospital. So I had some interesting guests come in, and they said I was a very dangerous man.
Huh?
Stating that, how dare you bring in politics and religion together? That is a dangerous man. And they said that you're a dangerous individual in our community. I said, well, excuse me. I'm like, well, can you tell that when I'm out of the hospital or something like that? How insensitive is that?
Well, why were you dangerous, Sos? Like, what makes you dangerous?
Well, according to them, according to the Market County Democratic Party and according to the Democratic Party around the counties and stuff, they state that the reason why I'm dangerous is because I stand for freedom. And they said that they said, I don't know how many times you have to tell you that. Okay. They're like, we don't live under a free country anymore. We live under a democracy. And the fact that you stand for America and its freedoms and its values is what makes you dangerous.
Yeah.
That is.
Well, I guess that's the average norm there in Wisconsin, folks. People think that Sauce is dangerous. He's a dangerous man. I'm dangerous. Don't fuck with me. Anyway.
That is dangerous. That's dangerous to think about, isn't it? I mean, what is your thoughts? Like, I mean, and of course, I asked them. I'm like, well, can you go on my show and tell me that? And they're like, well, no, we don't do shows. We don't do interviews.
Hey, listen. This is what I would tell them. If you can't come on my show and tell my listeners of some hundreds of thousands of listeners, folks, okay, and you can't tell them why I'm dangerous, then I don't believe a damn word you're saying, and you're a hack, and you're a fucking fraud, and get the hell away from me. That's what I would have said. But I'm just too damn savage, folks. I'd probably wind up getting a couple of shiners in my eye, a couple black eyes or something.
Well, and plus, I was in the hospital after all. I mean, I was in the hospital, so I mean, yeah. I can't. I mean, I was in poor health, so I can't really.
Sash, you have a lot of corruption in your little town. I've been looking at news lately. I want to get back to the whole Trump thing, because I want to tie it up with this show here before we close it out. But I'm looking at, Little Madison, Wisconsin, and it's crime after crime. Madison Police Department looking for 2 occupants of 2 cars that may have witnessed a crash on the city's west side. And then there's another man burglarizing a Madison woman's home while she slept, and then he also pled guilty to the charge.
Episode, check out the episode on Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday, as we will be having radio personality Derek from Wham Radio joining myself and Joseph.
Sas, what the hell is going on in this little town? I thought it was peaceful, man.
Well, the city it's city of Madison, and it's 1.2 million. Well, it's about 1.2 million. Well, I mean, think about. Well, that's why we need you to come up here. Because it's a loony bin.
Why? But okay, so you want me to come up there? So if I do come up there, how would I change this? I don't understand how I would change the landscape of Madison, Wisconsin. Am I Superman, Sauce? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, you'll just pay you'll pay the 22% sales tax in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, and you'll pay for instance, I was at a dollar store, and this dollar store was all no one you could. Well, I think you could catch on my show or something like that, where we kind of talked it over, where there was they're having a hard time to find work, so you don't have stockers, it's all mechanical and all electronic. Well, for the first time, the Madison, Wisconsin, and it's interesting because the reports are coming out. Did you know the most dangerous, in the top 25 most dangerous cities, what 2 cities are in the top 25?
I have no idea.
Out of all the nation, Madison and Milwaukee was number 3, and Madison was 23.
Good grief.
I said, I'm like, what? I'm like, I thought that tells you something. I'm like, well, maybe Michael's got to come up here because he says that, he's tired of California. He just could come up to Iraq in third world country.
I'm not tired of my state of Florida. I'm just tired of the loony bins that run this damn city. That's all. We almost actually got a Republican leader that runs this city. We came close, very close, guys, in this last midterm election. We almost had Orlando turn red. Well, it's blue, but oh yeah, it came really, really close.
Was that in your dreams?
What's that?
I said, was that in your dreams or?
No, it wasn't in my dream, Sauce. It was reality, man. I had my feet on the freaking floor. I wasn't dreaming, folks. It happened.
I'm picking on you. You have to have fun. Well, and huh?
I know, but so let's get to this. Let's get to this Donald Trump stuff.
Yeah.
All right, because I
Oh,
want to spin off a little bit of Tommy Nation from last night because he
yeah.
says that.
Before we continue, where's Jim? Not where's Jamie? Where's I can't remember his name. Why did I just drop? Joe. Yeah, where's Joe at?
I don't know. We got to check on him. Make sure he didn't fall asleep on the couch. He did that last time, and he
Yeah, 'cause
actually
was supposed to be on the show.
Yeah, he probably fell asleep. He takes naps from time to time, and he says he enjoys it. I said, "You enjoys it? You mean you enjoy it, right, Joseph? Enjoys it, yeah." Well, anyway, we'll check up on the show. I'll have Shake.
This is the moment.
The Bachelorette is back. And the power
I'm gonna fall in love,
is in Jen's hands.
and I'm gonna do it my way.
ABC tonight.
Everything about her is great.
I feel so special.
Jen's looking like a queen.
My men are very, very hot.
Someone call 911. You are looking so fired.
This is the beginning of a new era.
The Bachelorette. All new tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC. And stream on Hulu.
I'll reach out to him because Shaky's just sitting next to me. He's not doing anything besides twiddling his thumbs.
And probably watching porno, like Hunter Biden videos.
He's not a pervert, Sash, for Christ's sakes, man.
Hey, this is unfiltered. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, Shaky. Sorry. I got to pick on you once in a while.
Yes. Anyway, so I want to get to this Donald Trump thing. Sas thinks that everybody on my show is either a pervert, a drunk, or a person that's not reliable. Anyway, so let's get to this Donald Trump thing. Do you think this kind of could break Donald Trump, Sas?
I think so. Here's why. Because he's got two things going against him. Number one, he's surrounding himself with not so good people. That whole Kanye West thing that you did a show that you and I both did, I think that's really going to hurt him in the long end. And number two, I think this whole tax thing is also going to hurt him. I think his chances in primaries are going to really be dampered, and it's going to be, even if he wins the primary, it's not going to be looking too good because that means the Democrats have a whole bunch of things now to run on, and that should be it's going to be discouraging. So,
yeah, it is going to be discouraging. But folks, you got to remember something. Let me reiterate on the show. His family business was convicted this past Tuesday, so just yesterday, of criminal tax fraud. On the same day, his hand-picked candidate lost a winnable Senable. Where's my words at? Shaky, give me another fucking bottle of water. Senate race. There we go. And a red state. Yeah. Thank you for picking the lost bone that I was supposed to say. I'm having tongue twisters.
You should come
on the
here.
show.
It's great.
But folks, you got to remember something. The House January 6th committee, right? They have decided to make criminal referrals to the Justice Department. Well, what does this mean, Sas? That means that they're gonna try to pick some more crap on the president to prevent him from running from 2024.
Yeah, and to make him invalid. Well, and the whole thing is that all we have to wait for is January 3rd. And once January 3rd hits, the January 6th committee is going to be no longer available. And I can't come soon enough.
Well, did you see that there's an ex-Trump White House official now saying that Trump is liable for Walker's loss? How is he liable?
Is that Joe Bolton or John Bolton that's now coming out, and that weird guy with the mustache that used to be a Fox News coordinator? And he came out. Yeah, it was John Bolton.
No, this isn't Bolton. This is one of his former White House official. It's not Bolton. No, it's the oh God, she's got that brown looking hair, nice eyes, beautiful figure. Oh Christ, I sound like I'm going to take her out to an Applebee's. I forgot. No, she's white. She's not black.
Oh, what?
No, that. Laurel something. I can never forget her name. I forgot her damn last name. But anyway, she said that it's a terrible loss for both Walker and Donald Trump, because they're going to blame Trump, and they're saying he's liable for Walker's loss. He's not liable, Sauce. He just endorsed the guy. Trump wasn't running for Georgia. for the race in Georgia,
No.
for the Senate runoff race. He endorsed him. Walker did not campaign enough. That's why Walker lost.
And he was a weak candidate. And there were actually serious allegations that came up, like that were actually real, and that there were actual real evidence of allegations of him treating women that absolutely the wrong way. So if there were actual evidence, just like how they accused Bill Clinton, and that was actual true. All you have to do is look in the White House, and you look at the curtains, and you'll see some of leftover residue on the curtain stains. I mean, that's the same thing with Herschel Walker. See, and that's the whole thing that the establishment has brought weak candidates during this midterm. And you know why they're bringing weak candidates? It's to make President Trump look bad, and it's to hand over President Trump to the Democrats and to have him go to town.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the criminal referrals, right? I just mentioned the criminal referrals. Like, what's the criminal referrals, Michael? Well, I'll explain. Now, the committee chair, Sas, Benny Thompson, which is a Mississippi Democrat, of course, just said yesterday that the members would issue criminal referrals, but not elaborate, saying that the panel was narrowed down. They narrowed down the panel of individuals who may be referred. Who are these referrals, Sas? That's what I want to know. How come they're not making to the public? They're not making awareness to the public to who these referrals are. We need to know who these referrals are. I think the American people deserves to understand who these are. I mean, you can't just hide it. You know?
And well, you want to talk about transparency. Okay, the January 6th committee said, well, we're going to be transparent to the public. Well, the whole thing is that they put this whole theatrical on TV. Well, why don't you make it theatrical on TV? Why don't you have CNN and that garbage thing on there, and you get to tell them, okay, here are the referrals. Well, the other thing is, you have to look at this on the other hand, though, okay? Man, President Trump really made really bad mistakes during his presidency. He surrounded himself with people that backstabbed him, and he surrounded himself with people that, like a bunch of his ex-girlfriends now, that don't like him.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel bad for him, because he surrounded himself with people like, yeah, you go. And then, right away when they realize that he's like doing something right, they backstab him for a book deal, or they give him a TV show. I mean, it's really sad. It's really sad. And it's like, and now you have the whole like this witch trial, like this January 6th thing, not transparent with the public. And they go after people that they want deemed to. They're going after Mike Lindell now. They went after a bunch of other people. It's like,
they've been going after Mike Lindell for the last 8-9 months. I mean, they're hitting everybody in this Trump circle. But what's going on with this Constitution? Tommy from his show, Tommy Nation, last night was questioning me. Okay, and I wasn't really aware of it. I had to look it up a little bit this morning, guys, with this something to do with Donald Trump saying that if he gets into power, if he gets reelected in 2024, he is wanting to terminate the Constitution. Like, what? No.
He doesn't mean that. Figure of speech.
Well, get this, Sas. There was a bizarre call in a post on his, Twitter, like True Social platform, because we know that Twitter is the second cousin of True Social now. It's very, very conservative, which I love. I almost want to grab a condom and make love to it, because it literally, it's a very conservative platform, folks. Now, they want to terminate laws in the Constitution to favor of a 2020 redo. That's what Donald Trump is saying. He wants to literally terminate the laws, and I'll repeat this, according to these goons here, because I see it coming out of CNN. I'm also seeing it coming out of NBC, that they want to terminate the laws in the Constitution in favor of a 2020 redo. And what this is going to do is this is going to basically choose a party for rhetoric often built around the nation's followed documents. Wow, that's some deep stuff, Sas.
Yeah. That is, like you said, that's some very,
Well, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said to reporters it's just Tuesday that it would be pretty hard to be sworn into presidency if you're not willing to uphold the Constitution. What are they trying to say? They're trying to say that, they don't want to uphold the Constitution. Is that what they're trying to say?
The Republicans? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, look at the people. Look at the people in charge.
Yeah.
You're seeing their true colors. You're seeing their true Moscow Mitch. He cares about. He will do anything and anything. He will even go on CNN and MSNBC and tell, how bad, Kerry Lake is and how bad everything else is. And he said that there's no voter fraud anywhere there is. And he'll say anything to whistle the ear so he can stay in power. And you are seeing the establishment going full steam ahead along with the Democratic Party to make sure that they don't bring a pro-America first Canada ever in office. And that's what we saw out of Herschel Walker. That's what we saw out of this stupid early voting, is to make sure that the candidates that we no longer have a voice. And that's what's been happening in 2020 and in 2022.
Let's circle back. Let's play a peppermint patty, folks. Let's circle back to what Sas just said. Sas made up a really, really awesome point here on the show with Herschel Walker. Now, Sas, do you think Herschel Walker, man, lost the election on purpose?
No, because of the early voting. That's how he lost, because of the early voting.
I understand that, though, but what I'm trying to say is, he's a politician, right? He's, I mean, do you think he was in it just for, to make a difference for Georgia and make a difference for the Senate? I mean, no, I really don't think. I think, Herschel Walker is going to be fine. He's going to pick up his, big boy feet, and he's going to continue on his merry old way. But what I'm trying to say is, do you think that Herschel Walker lost the race for other avenues, Sas? Let's go to other avenues. Do you think Herschel Walker could play that turncoat and do the same damn thing that Tulsi Gabbard did and switch parties?
So he's going to be a Democrat?
Yeah, I'm just painting a picture here of what ifs. Do you think that, by the loss of what happened with the Senate runoff race in Georgia between Walker and Warnock, do you think now Herschel Walker feels so defeated that, you ever heard the saying, folks, if you can't beat them, join them?
Yes.
Do you think he could possibly go over to the Democrats? That's what I'm trying to paint the picture here.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
Yeah, I had some crickets from Sas. I think I put Sas in the corner. You ever watch the show Dirty Dancing, the movie Dirty Dancing? Don't put baby in the corner. I think I just put Sas in the corner on this question.
No, yeah. That brought up a really good. And plus, Herschel Walker wasn't from Georgia anyway. He was from Texas.
Yeah, he wasn't from Texas, but I mean, maybe you think maybe that's why he didn't win the first place, because he doesn't have his original roots in Georgia. They're really in Texas.
Oh, I think that the establishment put him in there. And I think that the establishment put him in there, and that they knew that he was a weak candidate, just like Dr. Oz, and that the establishment did a closed deal stating that Chuck Schumer is like, okay, you know what? We're going to get some seats, and then we're going to allow you to get some seats, but you have to give up some of your seats. We have to they're like, in order to keep America divided, we have to win some of our seats, and then we have to count our votes immediately and push this early voting, so then we can keep America divided. We can, call these conspiracy theorists, and we can keep them in the dark.
Well, Sas, if you really want to look at the race, I mean, the Georgia runoff election was a fucking joke. I mean, Warnock didn't really win by a landslide like, the Georgia Democratic Party was painting it to be. It was only a 51 to 48 percentage. He won by a slight difference, literally, maybe a couple 100,000 votes, if that.
Well, and the whole thing, and here's my whole thing, okay? Is Georgia really a stupid state? voting for a Horlock who supposedly a pastor. And he's like, well, you know what? If you guys don't vote, if you guys like, Michael Gardner, he brought in religion again, stating that, you know what, true Christians are Democrats, and that, you know what, God would want to abort women, that God would want to do all like these outlandish excuses and these outlandish claims. To me, that doesn't make sense whatsoever.
Well, there's something coming out. I hate to break this in here, guys, but this is some developing stuff here, and I found this very, very interesting here, and I want to say here on the show as we have some time here to say it, that now they're saying that the Republican plot now is to weaponize the government against political enemies. What? Now, listen to this here, guys. Trump's Schedule F plan. I didn't even know there was these little plans. I don't know if this is like a media thing that they're making up these little ridiculous scenarios, because that's what it sounds like, folks. But they're saying Trump's Schedule F plan is to eliminate workplace protections for the civil service, which was averted in 2020. But the GOP still dreams of the purge. They want that purge sauce. Like Sauce says, what's your insights on that, Sauce?
I really do not know. I'm lost at words once again. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with the Republican Party. I think what's going on with the Republican Party is that they're self-destructing themselves, and they're really. I mean, you can blame the Republican Party for going along with the Democratic Party. You can blame the Republican Party for not standing on its moral grounds. I mean, you can blame. They're 100% at fault because the Republicans had everything in there. This was like a dream come true. You had everything going the wrong direction. You had this country going in the wrong direction. You could take those points, those talking points. You can take those border issues. You could take the taxes. You could take the inflation issues. You can all take that home, and it would have been a home run. But instead, we got to worry about January 6th, and we got to worry about like going against Trump, and we got to keep this country divided. What did they do? They succeeded, and they are just like your Democrat Party. And that's why they've won, pretty much. The Democrats won by a landslide. That's what pisses me off. And I even called it. I said, I even said to you a long time ago, I said, you know what? It's going to be a blue wave. And sure enough, we're seeing who the real turncoats are. We're seeing the people who really betrayed this country and who are not for the people.
Oh yeah, well, by a landslide, literally a landslide. I just, I hate to say it, but I mean, folks, we are not united.
No,
I know everybody. Yeah, yes, I know everybody wants to live that fairy tale that we are the United States of America, and we are so much different from the rest of the country and other countries in the world. We are just amount of the same, Sauce, as all these different little countries and big countries alongside of us. We are the same. We have so much dividedness. We have so much corruption. We have so much hatred in this country. It's terrible. It's literally breaking us apart, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to write my book that's coming out in a couple of weeks, which I highly suggest you guys pick it up. It's going to be on the newsstands in like about 2 weeks. So really, really awesome stuff. But, as we close it up here, Sauce, because I got to close it up here, guys, and I got to get ready here because I'm going to be going on Sauce's show soon. But Sauce, I mean, what's your thoughts, man, with everything? I mean, we're through the midterms now. The general election is less than a year and a half away. Like, what do you see happening right now? Obviously, we just got through Thanksgiving. Christmas is like a short, couple weeks away. People are scrambling, man, to get their Christmas gifts in order. People can't even afford to buy Christmas gifts, I'm told now, for some of their children. Like, what's going to happen, man, in the next year and a half?
I don't know. This country is going to be. I don't want to know what's going to happen next year. I don't even want to know what's going to happen and what's going to transpire. All I can tell you is going to be all bad things. And I'm not gonna be. I'm not. I don't want to be. I don't want to be pessimistic, but I'm more of a realistic thinker. The fact that we have, the fact that we have a country now that is so divided, and one side cares and is now calling other people dangerous just because they believe in God. The other side believes that, you know what, we need to protect this country. I hate to say it, but we could be going at a civil war. And this could explain why the gun sales have skyrocketed over Black Friday and why the Biden administration is scrambling to stop the sales of guns and ammunitions and purposely shutting down the ammunition front because he sees something that is long overdue. And I'm not inciting violence, but I hate to say it. You might have to prepare yourself for the worst to come.
Well, I want to say this real quick here, guys. Sas just had said, this is coming out of a Malaysian prime minister, right? Malaysian prime minister, Anwar, if that's how you pronounce his name. Sorry if I butchered his name, but he's now vowing to heal a divided nation and an economy. This is the prime minister of Malaysia. And he's trying to work not only with his country, but he's also trying to work with the United States because he feels that the United States is making mistakes that other countries have made and seen their great empires fall and collapse. Folks, you understand that we are like less than a thread, right? A thread. Like you ever sew a shirt, you have a hole in it, and you got like a needle and thread. We are less than a thread, Sas, away from breaking our country down. Literally. Now, there's no other utopia besides America. This is the last remaining hope for our humanity of a species. It's one of the reasons why we left Great Britain. It's one of the reasons why we left Europe. We escaped suppression. And guess what? We're reliving it over, Sas, right now in modern America.
Well, I'm reliving that not once but twice.
Yeah, Sas comes from a country that, lives and breathes socialism, communism, suppression. That's all they know. And you know what's sad is a country that Sas originally was from. It's normal. They don't know anything besides that. It's normal to them. They wake up with machine guns going off, bombs being bursted in the air, people's houses and huts and different types of shelters being destroyed. I'm sure they're upset, but it's normal to them. Folks, do you want to have a country such as the United States of America to be going down dark paths such as Russia, China, Venezuela, Cuba, just to name a few? Because we're just about there. Sas labeled it correctly. We are in a modern civil war. We're in the beginning stages of it. I don't know, Sas. I think it's a dark future ahead of us, man.
Yeah, it is it's a very disturbing view. And I'm gonna really hit on this on my. I don't want to give too much away, but I'm really going to hit on this on this show today. The fact that the two Americas, and how you can't have the one's got to cater, one's got to fall, and which one do we bend to? And this definitely, it's very disturbing to be in. And the sad part is, I tell people, that just have babies, I tell them, I'm like, you know what, I feel so sorry for you, because your kid has to grow up in this. Your child, your baby, has to develop and has to grow through this audacity and this atrocious style of lifestyle. I would not want to bring kids onto this earth.
It's really bad, Sas. I have to say, guys, as I close this out, I know this episode was a political roller coaster, but think of the more powerful, faster roller coaster that we're enduring every single day of our fucking lives. Folks, we are going down dark paths. We are going down a shithole, what we call a nation right now, because it is becoming that. There's only one thing, guys, like I said in my book. There's only one way to escape all this. And I'll give you a little spoiler that I said in my book. That's on chapter 21, guys. You got to read it. In order to save this nation, we need to look at our original roots. That Lady Liberty, Lady Liberty. There we go. My words are like a third bottle of water already on the show. But Lady Liberty painted it correctly, guys. Give me your tired, give me your poor, but give me the ones that are willing to achieve from their origins of all that. That's what we need to do, folks. We need to preserve this nation. And that's my closing. Guys, I want to close out here because, like I said, I have to make time for the sauce report here, guys, coming up at you here. But I want to remind the listeners, guys, December 30th, America's Political Warfare, Our Modern Civil War, will be out on newsstands everywhere, including Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and Target. December 30th, guys, 2022. We're going to get you some promo codes, some discount codes for the first week or two after the releasing of that. Also, too, guys, I want to remind the listeners to check us out on December 16th, as I will be on Static Radio with my good friend Bob Lament and his co-host Miles. Should be a very, very rather interesting, funny, comical show. Damn good, funny show. And we got some good shows coming up in the future, guys. I'll announce that this Friday. Once again, thanks, guys, for tuning in to today's show. I'm out of breath. I'm going to get a glass of water here, and I'm going to prep up for Sauce's show because I'm sure Sauce is going to be delivering another roller coaster of an episode alongside with myself. Thanks very much, guys.